Welcome to Kranky Live, the show where bold minds meet real talk. This isn't your average sports or news show. It's where we break down sports, culture, and controversy with facts, fire, and fearless honesty. Here, truth cuts through the noise, and hype gets exposed. From football to track and field, from world issues to local debates, we ask the tough questions, speak without fear, and go deeper than the headlines. We don't follow the crowd, we set the trend. While others recycle the same tired takes, we bring fresh insight, unfiltered analysis, and bold perspectives. No echo chambers, no puppet talk, just real conversation for people who think for themselves. Listen with your brain, not just your ears. Think critically, question boldly, and speak freely. This is Kranky Live, where reason rules the mic and truth always win. Come on, let's get into it. Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Welcome back to the Kranky Live channel and the Balance View channel, where we bring you all things sports. Now it's World Cup 2026. We have gotten off to an extremely interesting start. We saw the first game between Mexico and South Africa, where South Africa didn't turn up, and Mexico did, barely. We saw Czech Republic playing against South Korea. I fell asleep during the first half. I was told it was a very good game. I couldn't tell. And we've seen a number of games since. We've seen Morocco versus Brazil, and Brazil were supposed to be one of the favorites. Morocco is a very good team, and Brazil looked, I'll use the word interesting. I'm not sure what to make of Brazil. Their midfield looked lost between Casemiro and Guimaraes, and they had Paqueta there, and we'll see how that works out. And Brazil fans are always optimistic every World Cup. They haven't won in 24 years. And they look like they're going to win this one. And then we saw today, actually. But before we come to today, we saw last night where Cote Verde, or I call them Ivory Coast, I can't get over it, last night. They won in the last minute of the game. They won 1-0. I thought they have a very good team. And I think they played against a very good Ecuador team that hadn't lost in about 19 games, that probably hadn't given up a goal in that same amount of time, because obviously they have an Arsenal defender and a PSG defender in the team, and Caicedo protecting the back four. They're a very good team. Offensively, they're challenged, but they're a very good defensive team. And they lost last night 1-0. Really good goal scored by Diallo, who I think has gotten better and better for the last 3 or 4 years since he got to Man U. But I thought the star of the evening, even though he needs some finished product, is Diamande, who's been touted for Liverpool or PSG. And I can see why now. Bless up Eagle Republic. He's a handful. Difficult to cover, difficult to mark. And as you come in, people, hit the like button. Please hit the like button. Don't let me whine and complain about it. I didn't put that request up. I decided to test you and you're fading miserably. But anyway. So we saw that game. That was a very good game. And then we saw today Cape Verde or I'm always messing the name up because I'm not totally familiar with that country. I'll be honest. I did some research in West Africa, 4,000 square feet, but they were good today. And then, as Eagle Republic is saying, Tunisia, after they got slammed last night by Sweden 5-1, fired their coach. And then I hear some people in Jamaica who's in the JFF telling me I should get over Jamaica not making the World Cup. You hold on to things too long, get over it. People, that's reaction. Failure is not tolerated, at least that kind of failure. Now, Sweden is a decent team. They barely made it to the World Cup. I didn't think they win a group. They didn't win any games in their group, but they got through to the playoffs. And you want to come tell me Jamaica, which had the easiest zone in the history of football, didn't win the World Cup, I should get over it. And yet Tunisia is saying this is unacceptable. A coach who took them to the World Cup, they fired the coach. After one game, they didn't give a chance to fail. They fired him. And then you want to tell me I should get over it. Really? And then you want to be in the seat on a continuous basis. you don't want to be let go. You think you should get a promotion. You should get a promotion. You can't make this up. Anyway, we're talking about Belgium and Egypt, but Jamaica always comes up because most of my audience are. Um, so here are the starting lineups for Egypt and Belgium. Now for Egypt, we have the names that people are most familiar with would be Marmoush, who plays for Man City, and Salah, who plays for plays for Liverpool. We don't know what his status is yet. Now that Arne Slotter's left, he may decide to stay at Liverpool. Who knows? I hear there's a hint about that. But he also may end up in the Middle East where money is being given away free on the street. You just got to go pick it up. That's how we used to think about the US in the old days, but it wasn't like that. In Saudi Arabia, it seems that way. We can see their team there. Shobair, Hani, Ibrahim, Fatih, Fatou, Atia, Ashur, Lachine, Salah, Marmoush, and Zico with a K and not with a C. Remember Zico from Brazil back in the 80s was a brilliant footballer, 70s and 80s. And then we have the Belgium team, which 8 years ago, it's probably number one in the world. Time around the 2018 World Cup in Russia. Underachievers. A lot of those players are like Vermaelen and others have retired by now, and Hazard. But it's a good team. Courtois, who's probably the best goalkeeper in the world. But we have Courtois, we have Castanet, we have Michel and Goy, Muner, Onana, and Tielemans, who both play for Aston Villa. De Bruyne, who is now in Italy and was a star for Man City for years, but legs are getting old. Trossard, who won the Premier League with Arsenal. Doku, who's at Man City. And the Kellier, I'm always messing his name up. He's in the team on the forward line, so playing up front. So it's a decent team. Surprisingly for me, even though he has Belgium best ever leading goal scorer, Lukaku, is on the bench, which is interesting. You would think someone like him would be in the starting team. And people like Wetsel are also on the bench. So there's a changing of the guards at Belgium, and we'll see how they perform. Maybe now that they're not one of the favorites, and maybe now that this team, there's not a lot expected from them, that they may produce in this World Cup. But we'll see. They have a tough game today against Egypt. And the African teams have done well so far, right? Cabo Verde drew with Spain today. Ivory Coast beat, I shouldn't call him, Cabo Verde. That's why I'm going to say Ivory Coast. They beat Ecuador last night. So you had an African team draw with a European team. An African team beat a South American team. Now, Sweden did destroy Tunisia. And Senegal have a very tough game against France tomorrow. But the African teams are doing okay. The CONCACAF teams, Canada drew, US won, Haiti lost, but they could have got a good outcome. Panama hasn't played yet. Mexico won. So CONCACAF and Curacao had a tough game against Germany, and they probably had the worst beating so far in the World Cup, losing 7-1 to Germany. So there's a lot happening for these teams, and there's been a lot of controversy around the World Cup so far, whether it's the Iran situation with the U.S.-Iran-Israeli engagement. We call it war. I don't call it war. You have the situation with the Somali referee who was sent back to Somalia, supposedly having terrorist association, but no evidence provided. You have Thomas Partey, who plays at Villarreal in Spain and played for Arsenal last year, and who's been charged with rape, multiple counts of rape, but has been convicted, who was denied entry to Canada for Ghana's first game. And by the way, who are based in the U.S. So the U.S. let you in, Canada said no. But in Partey's case, those remember Mendes, and so you should wait until the case plays out before you draw a conclusion. Now, Canada's law supposedly indicates that if you're charged with a crime or you commit one, that's the criteria that's used to keep you out. But I'll say there are other individuals who are playing the World Cup who have had some of those same situations. Wasn't Ronaldo accused Maybe he wasn't charged, but he settled out of court for $300 and something thousand with some lady in Las Vegas way back when she alleged that he raped her. So, yeah, interesting. Cartiza, how you doing? South Africa got beaten by Mexico. Yes. Who did I say they got beaten by? I know they got beaten by Mexico. And TEDx said, "Good day, TEDx. How you doing? Bless up, everyone. Thanks for being here. Looking forward to today's game and the World Cup. Look, when events like the World Cup starts or the Olympics starts, no matter what controversy surrounds them, and in Qatar we had the same situation. We had the whole LGBT situation, human rights situation in Qatar. People just focus on the event when it happens. When it starts, that's where the focus is. So all the other things that surrounds it take second stage or take the backstage because people are here to compete. I know there's some concern of ticket prices. It's a big deal, and they are because that's why I'm not going to the World Cup. And even people who went to games have some concerns about their tickets and where they're situated. But it always works itself out. If Jamaica was in the World Cup, I would figure it out and gone to the games because I got to support my country. But they're not there, and therefore that desire, it's a once in a lifetime event. I wasn't feeling it. And those events are nice to go to, right? I went to the Olympics in London, one of the best experiences ever. But like everything else, they come and they go. So you think about the next one. But the hope is that the World Cup will now be the focus. The games will be the focus. And we're seeing results so far, which suggests it's going to be a very intriguing World Cup. Last World Cup, we had Argentina losing in the first game to Saudi Arabia. We had Spain being challenged. If Spain lost in 2010 and they won, Argentina lost in 2022 and they won their first game. We had Morocco making the semifinals. In Russia, we had Croatia making the semifinals. So you'll always have these surprises. Always have these surprises. And this probably will be no different. I watched an earlier friendly game where Ivory Coast beat France, and they looked really, really good in that game. And we have teams like Senegal playing France tomorrow. Now, I have France as one of the favorites, probably the main favorite, because they have such a potent forward line. They have good defenders, and the midfield is decent enough to get them through. If Kante is fit and running and doing what he normally does as Kante, then they're in a good place. Yeah, that's the score of the game. Cape Verde just play defense. They play defense. If they had some speed up top, they probably could have got something out of the game. Now Spain was a better team; they had chances, but Spain was so dominant in ball possession. I haven't looked at the stats that they should have won the game. But don't take anything away from the underdog. They were very good defensively. Yes, I mean, a lot of you guys are in Japan, especially military personnel, who will have kids with Japanese person in Japan. So, yeah, there was a black person's keeping for Japan. If you bet me, I would probably think he's born to a serviceman, a U.S. serviceman at that. But yeah, Japan is a good team. Japan drew with the Dutch. I missed most of that game. I probably saw the last 15, 20 minutes. But Japan was expected to be good coming to the tournament. I mean, they beat England in England in a friendly, and they qualified easily from their zone. And football is almost like a religion there now. So that's not surprising. But I'm looking forward to this game and see how Belgium does against Egypt. I don't think Egypt has ever won a World Cup game, so we'll see how that works out. And I'm saying Jamaica brought them ducks today. Bless up, Conrad. How you doing? So let's see how the game goes. I'm looking forward to the game. Probably the only game I'm going to bring to carry today. I want to do the France Senegal match tomorrow. I'm doing what I call selective games. So this one I want to select. I thought about doing a Spain game, but I decided that this would be a better game to do. So it should be an interesting game. Whose father is from Ghana? Broadman Security. I do find interesting though that the Tunisia coach got fired. So how does that work? I'm with the team, I get fired, I just gotta go home on a plane by myself, lonely. Can I stay in my room that I booked with the team? How does that work? That is harsh. Um, that's harsh. I'm sure it's embarrassing. Oh, the keeper as far as I'm gone. Okay, so it's not Jamaican. Okay, that's harsh. It's not West American, I should say. That's very harsh. There are quite a bit of Africans in Japan actually. If you go out to where they call that place that I used to go when I go to Japan. A lot of them out there with them peep show. Sounds really bad. Some marry. Some of the Japanese go overseas, like Africa, teachers, and they come back. They marry an African, and then try to get their papers. It's very difficult to get your papers in Japan. No, Conrad, that's a negative way to view it. Why don't you? Well, here's how I think about it, Conrad. We would have been like Cape Verde. We'd have played deep and suck it up. Curacao didn't do that. They weren't smart. We'd have do like how Cape Verde did against Spain. Think about it from that lens. We wouldn't get no 9. And we probably would have gotten some more help too. Like some new players would have come in, but we'd not got 9. Maybe 4 or 5, but we'd not got 9. Cape Verde showed you that, you know what? Good defense can stifle another team. Because they did nothing offensively. They probably had 3 or 4 offensive sequence. But the game is off. Egypt in possession. Trying to play the ball around and spread the field pretty wide. Ball played on the line to Salah. Oh, it's not Salah, actually. That's number 11, who is Mustafa. That's Zico with a K. I want to see if Salah playing this tournament because Salah has lost like 2 steps. Not 1 step, 2 steps. He was not very good for not very good this year. The 2 players who have stood out so far in the tournament are Diamande, to me, roasted Nkapi last night. And I rate Nkapi as one of the best left back best defender in football, not left back. He plays in the back 3 for Ecuador. Even though Arsenal play him at left back, I don't view him at left back. Here comes Belgium coming forward. Back here, out of bounds. Goal kick to Egypt. So I think Diamande is one. He was and not like he was electric. He just played interesting football. He'd slow you down and then speed you up. I thought Boadi, who plays for Morocco, and he's getting all the rave so far because he played against Brazil. He was also very good. And then I expect Doku to be good, so we'll see. I expect Doku to light up the World Cup. Here comes Egypt. Good move, trying to find turnover. Game hasn't settled down yet. Egypt is a very experienced team, so I expect them to play well. Bless up, Peter. How you doing, Peter? People, as you come into the chat, please hit the like button. I need encouragement to keep doing World Cup games. As you can see, I haven't done all the games because I'm not getting enough encouragement. Egypt in possession, 3:32 has already passed. Score tied at 0. Game is pretty slow. Egypt trying to go right, headed out by Belgium. Belgium coming forward is Doku. Turns it over, he wins it back, beats one, plays it inside to Onana. Onana turns it over, and here we go again. Salah controls, turns. Egypt switching from right to left. Good 1-2 by Egypt. They had space to go inside, but decided not to take the risk. Fato goes all the way back to Lachine. Lachine could have gone over the top, decided not to. Ball plays into Salah, going wide, trying to find Zico. Ball towed out by Belgium. And it looks like it's a throw into Belgium. 5 minutes in, score tied at 0. Spain don't look dangerous, as Conrad is saying. Spain problem is they need their two dynamic wingers. That's how they won the Euro last time. Williams and Lamal, they're missing those two today. Because they didn't. Spain hasn't had a center forward since Torres, frankly. That's years. That's their problem. Great midfield, center forward, not good enough. Here comes Belgium. Ball played to Trossard, plays it inside. Trossard gets it back, looking to shoot. Shoots, block. That's a Nana, goes wide. Belgium recycling the ball. Doku stands his man up. I think Haney's gonna have an interesting day today against Doku. De Bruyne with a shot just outside the post. Good shot by De Bruyne. Didn't have much backlift there or enough space to shoot. He could have rolled the ball to number 23 there if he thought about it. Ball headed out by the goalkeeper, headed out by Egypt, trying to go along. Yeah, it's a foul against Belgium. Not a good foul. Foul against Marmoush, and he's down, feeling the effects of that hit. I expect Marmoush to also have a good tournament, actually. I think it's been interesting for Marmoush coming to City where he's not the man. Egypt in possession, 7.5 minutes in. Score tied at 0. Anana being tripped up. I guess maybe that's a return hit that was provided on Marmoush earlier. JSA still not convinced by Marmoush. No, he's a good player. Good goal scorer. But it's hard to get consistent time at City, actually. Salah with a foul. Very difficult to get consistent game time at Man City. Egypt, head back, ball to the keeper, who controls. 9 minutes in. Not much happening so far. Teams feeding each other out. Here comes Egypt, trying to play the ball up the field, but turns it over, throwing to Belgium. Ball thrown down the line. Try to back in, and it works this time. Trossard out of bounds, goal kick to Egypt. Trossard, as he normally does, protests vehemently. to no avail. Goal kick to Egypt. Egypt coming forward. Salah with it. Should go wide. Zika, man running right of him, plays it wide. Cross in the box, headed out by Belgium. And Doku picks it up. And he's away. He has 3 men around him. He beats one and dispossessed. Easily dispossessed. He's going to be a hunted man. Here comes Egypt again. Salah out to Zico, back to Salah. Salah over the top. Good pass by Salah. Nobody's in the box, or one person in the box now. Good move. He got fouled, but it wasn't called. I think that was a foul, actually. Bad move by the ref. Egypt has won it back. Egypt coming forward and turns it over. Some poor football being played, to be honest. Not good football so far. Foul against Egypt. Protest there by Ibrahim, but referee not hearing it. I don't think that was a foul, actually. And the player dive afterwards. That was not foul. Or was it saying that he played it out as a corner versus it being a foul? Oh, okay. So it's a goal kick. Ball played out, a free kick ball out of bounds, throw into Belgium. These two teams need to settle down. Belgium just keeping possession. That's calm by Ngoy, and then he dived. He may have gotten fouled, but he did dive. The referee's giving a yellow card to Atia. Not a smart yellow card. It's very brave by Ngoy driving through the midfield like that. If he loses it, they're in trouble. And I don't think that was a yellow card, though. He touched him, but it wasn't a yellow card. At least not in my mind. "13 minutes in, I think Belgium need to just go a little bit wider, and they have to move their midfield around more. I don't see Tielemans on the ball, and Tielemans is always the one who can make those incisive passes. That hasn't happened so far. De Bruyne trying to engineer something, plays it to Doku. Doku out wide, playing against, is out there against Atia, trying to beat him. Comes inside to Anana, who's on his back here, or Hani, I'm saying. Instead of, is on his back instead of Atia. That was Hani, number 3. He's on his, what was it called, his back foot, or he's not on the front foot. And that's why that ball was turned over. Not a smart foul there by Castana. Castani. Here comes Egypt. Turns it over again. No continuity in this game. We can't get a flow so far. Still 0-0. Egypt coming forward again. Over the top, but Courtois is there. And he's probably what I consider the best goalkeeper in the world at the moment. Even though Raya would be giving him a hot run for his money. Egypt being very aggressive when the ball is played in the middle. They're not hesitating. They're going into the tackle. And Doku is down, and he looks like he's hurt. That was a little bit violent. So Haney was there with Doku. He jumped in. Oh, that's almost like a red card tackle. That's a dangerous tackle. 2-footed jumping. That's a red card. That's a red card. That's to me is a red card. That's not a. That's a red card. That is a horrible tackle. Now, luckily he didn't stay down on him, but I didn't see a yellow card come out. That's crazy. That kind of tackle. That's no brain tackle. I know people you have to be totally annihilated to get a red card, but that's a horrible tackle. He's jumping 2 foot and caught him. He could have gotten hurt. Look at that tackle. I'm just watching another replay on the tackle. That's crazy. Referees in this tournament have been inconsistent so far. Here comes Belgium again. Onana. Gonna come out wide. A turn by Belgium, but turns it over. Football is just not that good. Too many turnovers. Way too many turnovers. Belgium coming forward. Doku plays it back to Tillemans to De Bruyne, out wide to Trossard. He's turning like he normally does, not going anywhere. Plays back to De Bruyne, looking, can't find a pass, go all the way upfield across to Castanet, who plays it to center half, and they're trying to move the ball forward. Now, of all the teams that you have seen so far, so take quality of opponent and how the team has played, what's been the best team so far that you've seen? Even all the teams Spain has played, Mexico, USA, Canada, Brazil, Morocco. Who in your mind has been the best team so far? Germany has won 7, Sweden 5. Let me know in the chat which team has been the most impressive so far. Here comes Egypt again. It's a hard game to commentate because there's no continuity to this. Ball inside, looking to shoot. Shot. Oh, what a goal. Oh, what a goal. Far corner. Brilliant shot there. Wow, what a goal. Goal scored by Ashore. Wow. He picked it up. That looked like a Marmoush type goal. Picked it up outside the box and put his right foot through it. Nothing but net. Wow. That took Belgium by surprise, and it should. Didn't see that one coming, given how the game was going. Keeper had no chance. Courtois had no chance. Ball playing to Salah. Salah found him. Ushered society stand up. There's nobody close to him. So that's the thing. I mean, he had so much room. The defender was backing off, and he just had a chance to lace it and did. Far corner. 1-0. 1-0 to the Egyptian. Or to Egypt. That was a really good goal. But I think you gotta think about the defense. Like, where's the defense? Egypt coach trying to calm them down, but it was a really good goal. See, Spain doesn't have anybody who can shoot like that. Spain's problem is they don't have very good. Well, they have Yamal, but he didn't start. Not did Williams. So Belgium down 1-0. Belgium's gonna do what they normally do and probably get bounced out in the first round. Belgium coming forward. Egypt has been very aggressive. Let's see if they can play like this for the entirety of the game. Tielemans, ball play back to Ngoy, is coming forward. He has Trossard wide. He's decided to go inside and plays it out to Trossard. And he's way up the field. He's a center half. He need to get back in the position. Ball play to Onana. Comes back to Ngoy. He's looking in the box over the top. He finds Doku one-on-one. Doku plays it back. Looking for the 1-2. Tielemans trying to play it in. Here comes Ngoy. He's at one-on-one. Ball plays back out to Onana, plays it in. Foul against Belgium. Free kick to Egypt. So if you just join us, we are in the 22nd minute of play. And we are now at the hydration break. And Egypt leading by 1-0. Goal scored by number 8, Ashura. Very, very good goal. Picked up a ball from outside the box. A good pass by Salah. And put into the right corner away from Courtois, who had no chance. 0 chance. You guys love these hydration breaks? I find them interesting. Hydration breaks. What will we come to in football? A lot of people complaining. But hey, teams have to evolve, right? You have to evolve with the game. If the game calls for it, you got to do it. Especially playing in the U.S. where it's hot as, you know what? They say hot as heck. Or hot as hell, one of them. Dr. Don today, I need this. As a doctor, you're saying that if you don't have the hydration break, you run the risk of people passing out or even worse. Please hit the like button, people. You're here to enjoy the game with me. Yeah, I can't dispute that. I think society's come a long way. Sports have come a long way as related to football, where historically, if you guys some of you can recall, like in the 70s, like before the 80s, probably, maybe started earlier. But in the Caribbean, I know for the Caribbean, for example, you'd get water you can drink water. They say it would give you cramps, so you would eat oranges at halftime, which is crazy. People would eat oranges at halftime. They couldn't drink. There was no Gatorade. They didn't drink water. But things have changed. I realize that fluid is an imperative, and you need to have it. Belgium hasn't started well. They're struggling to break down the Egyptian defense. The Egyptian team, Egypt has been very, very aggressive. I thought the tackle on Doku to me could have been a red card. That was an awful tackle, but nothing given. Yeah, you're right. And it's in the US and it's about money. I know FIFA love money. Pity Jamaicans not getting any of that money. All that money being doled out and made, and Jamaica getting nothing, none of it. Egypt in possession, coming forward. Ball played to Salah, who plays that wide to Haney. Well, Belgium, Doku to Anana to Ngoy. And possession stats are pretty even. But most effective possession stat is put the ball in the net. Gotta possess it to score it, unless it's an own goal. Ngoy inside to Anana. So Tielemans playing the 8 and Anana playing the 6 and De Bruyne playing the 10, but he's not even a true 10. He's playing a hybrid. But he's not making himself presentable or in a good position. Here comes Belgium coming forward, ball crossing into the box. Blocked out by Egypt, throw into Belgium. Belgium again coming forward. It's Tielemans is foul. Referee says play on. That was a foul. Ball taken back by Belgium. This must be Trossard because we know he liked to dribble to De Bruyne. De Bruyne looking to over the top. Good ball by De Bruyne, played out by Egypt. Ball will be picked up out of bounds, throw into Belgium. Here comes Belgium again. Ball played out right. Doku hasn't done one of his dribbles so far because Egypt is double teaming him. Egypt was prepared for this game really well. When Doku picks it up, they're making sure they have at least two persons marking him. So he picks it up now. Number 3, Haney is out there, but he'll get help. Ball into the box, just over the head of De Bruyne. And Egypt picked it up, but foul against Belgium. Free kick to Egypt. That was a good cross. Just eluded De Bruyne. De Bruyne has lost about 2 steps. Still a good player, but lost about 2 steps. It's not the same De Bruyne we saw at City all those years, who could run all day. Here comes Egypt over the top, headed up by Belgium. Anana picks it up, trying to go wide. Anana gets it back, headed up by Egypt, coming forward. Surveying the field, doesn't have an outlet, and goes wide to Doku. Doku begins his dribble. He's being tracked there by Zico, and Zico playing a really good defensive game. He's coming back to help his right back because he knows he'd be in trouble if he doesn't. And they're playing Doku very physical also. Here comes, well, I was going to say here comes Belgium, but Egypt picks it up. Good move by Ashore, who scored a goal, played out by Belgium by Tielemans. Throw into Egypt. If you just join us, we're in the 29th minute. 1-0 to Egypt against Belgium. Goal scored by Iman Ashore from Egypt. Shot from outside the box. Far corner, Courtois. had little or no chance. Well, I wouldn't say little. He had no chance. Yes, Carters. Egypt has scored already. It's 1-0. Scores in it on top of my head, so you can see what the score is. Here comes Belgium. Good tackle. Good tackle there by the Egyptian player. Out of bounds, throw into number 14, who is Fatih. Ball played in the box, headed out by Egypt. Well, try to head it out. And here comes Belgium again. Onana to Castana, out to Doku. 3 players shutting Doku. Look at that. 3 players shutting him. They know who the danger man is. Ball crosses the box. And Tielemans went for the header. Missed it or barely flicked off his head. That was there, actually. Went out of bounds for a goal kick to Egypt. I would agree, Carter. It would be a nice World Cup. We love World Cups that have a lot of upsets, people. We love World Cup where the underdog wins, a lot of upsets, and maybe show that football is improving across the world and not just being dominated by a few teams. So I think Morocco was good. Cape Verde today drew with Spain. They won't go much further. Ivory Coast was very good. So we'll see what happens. Here comes Belgium. This is Trossard, who likes to touch the ball. Plays it wide to Munir, who goes inside, outside to Doku. Doku has 2 men shot on him. He has, and Doku goes by, but center half came over to block it. So he has Zico and Haney who are shouting him. And then there's the inside, 2 other players who are actually coming over if he does get by. So he's the danger man. They need to use him as a decoy in some respects and try to get somebody that's free. Maybe Tielemans can go in behind versus Doku. So look like they're, and they probably should switch wing actually. Comes Trossard, miscontrol, played up by Egypt. And Goya looks to be pretty quick, plays it back to his keeper. Courtois, it's going to go long. Here comes Egypt again. That's the special one, Salah. Ball played outside to Zika. As Indians outside shoots. Oh, that was close. Good save by Courtois. Really good save by Courtois. That was going to the far post. That was a really good shot by Zika. Zika, who's been playing both ways, actually. Playing really, unlike a Vinicius Jr., that was almost in. Courtois make a really great save, actually. And he's helping his defender, Haney, but also playing offense. Oh, poor corner taken. And here comes Doku. He switched wings. Oh, he's taken out. That has to be a yellow card. And yeah, that's a yellow card. So the good movement by Belgium to put Doku on the right, because he was having a tough time with Haney and Keys over there. So put him on the right. That's a yellow card. I know what Salah and others are arguing about. It's a clear yellow card. Oh, Lord. Santana, stop. Yeah, that was a bad tackle by Fatah. Fatah took ball, man, sideline, everything. So good switch with Trossard and Doku, because Doku wasn't having much joy on the right side. So here's being shouted again. Doku is a danger man, and Egypt has prepared for this. They've been told, no matter what happened, Doku cannot beat us. And Trossard is not quick enough to go by anybody. He got dispossessed a while ago. Yeah, Trossard is, we know Trossard's game. He has skill, but he can't run by anybody. What's between US and Sweden, Cartizzo? Who has played well so far? Okay. Someone say Sweden not playing nobody, so some men say US not playing nobody there, but Paraguay is a good team. Here comes Salah, surveys the field, tries an ambitious pass, not a good pass by Salah, and here comes Belgium. Onana has it, goes wide to Castagna. Castagna coming forward. He's playing too slow, trying to go over the top. Turns it over. Throw into Egypt. So on the right side, Hayden and Zika have been very good, actually. Very good defensively and good as a pair going forward. 35 minutes in, game going by quickly, even with the hydration break. Egypt leading by 1-0. I know what Belgium's going to do, but Belgium is struggling. Belgium is struggling. The scorer for Egypt was Iman Ashur, Ashour, number 8. He scored a screamer from outside the box. Belgium trying to walk down Egypt. Egyptian players down hurt. I don't. This is a foul against Belgium. I don't think so, actually. The ball was played in. Tielemans tried to let me see what happened here. Oh, yeah, he stepped on his ankle. It's almost like he's trying to jump over it. It's not good. That shot by Asher was a good shot. Courtois was right there, but I had no chance. In fact, when the ball passed him, that's when he dived. Ball, Doku against 2 men, out of bounds, throwing to Belgium at the halfway line, 37 minutes in. Belgium down 1-0. And by the way, here are the games for today. So Spain drew with Cape Verde earlier. Belgium losing by 1-0. Later we have Uruguay, Saudi Arabia, and then New Zealand, Iran. And we know this Iran story for this World Cup. Here comes Trossard on the right of the Egyptian box, looking to shoot. Plays it to Onana, who cuts it back, goes wide. Castagna to Trossard in the box, controlled by Doku. Back to Trossard, who kicked and missed, actually. He should have hit that. That probably should have been a goal. And Goy coming forward. Goes all the way back to Castagna. To Munir, sorry. Munir coming forward. Goes wide to Doku. Doku has 2 men in front of him and 1 shadowing him. And Goy to Onana. Egypt coming out. Trying to force quicker play. Ball out to Munir. Needs to in the box. Good cross. Headed that. Controlled by shot by Trossard. Ball is bouncing around. Egypt deep in their own half. They need to push their defense out more. Foul against Egypt, against Trossard, who's down, rolling around. 39 minutes in. Egypt 1, Belgium 0. If Belgium lose today, they're just going to tie into that whole notion that they fail at major championships. And by the way, it also, I'm going to put it up at halftime. Just trying to find another. Oh, this is what I'm looking for. So you look to the right. This is Group G. So in that group, even if Belgium lose today, they should get by New Zealand, who have not been good in warm-up to the tournament. Iran may be a little bit more difficult team for them to play. But even if they lose to Egypt, they still have a chance to, because a lot of third place teams will go through. So they may not be but when you go through as a third place team, you're going to play the winner of the previous, for one of the groups. So that may not be good for you. Here comes Egypt over the top. Courtois picks it up. Ball plays inside to Ngoy, who comes forward. So now Egypt's up the field. Belgium should look to go long. Look how far up the field they are now, because they pushed their defense up. De Bruyne has it, looking for the pass, goes wide, trying to find Trossard, but Haney does a good job of getting the ball off Trossard out of bounds for a goal kick to Egypt. Trossard is very slow. But Dr. Don saying, you know what? It'd be funny. Iran winning the World Cup on US soil, Trump would have a heart attack. Well, they call for miracles in life. That's one of them. That's not going to happen. Iran ain't winning no World Cup. Trump don't have to worry about that one. Now, if an African nation win the World Cup, it'd be the same thing, because the person in the White House is anti-black. So it's like Hitler in the 30s who come up with his superior race, and then Jesse Owens go in there and kick his butt. Yeah, we know about strange, but this is not one of those stranger things. It's not happening. Can't see it happening. I bet my house on it. Here comes Belgium again. Onana to Doku. Doku is now in the middle, which he probably should be. And try to play it wide. It's blocked. And a really poor pass instead of a lazy pass to turn that over. Here comes Salah. He's got Zico outside, but he turns it back. Slows it down. Starts over. I think I should put Doku in the 10. De Bruyne is not in the game. He's not legs anymore. You put Doku in the 10, he's going to get to touch the ball a lot in tight spaces, closer to the goal. I know out wide he gets more space, but they triple team him, so it doesn't really matter anymore. And Goy coming forward. The center half of Belgium. Ball plays out to De Bruyne, shoots. His own man blocked it. Ketelier blocked it. Egypt turns it over. Here comes De Bruyne. Goes wide to Doku. Doku has 2 men against him. Try to beat him. He's dispossessed, and here comes Egypt. Doku thought he was fouled, but referee didn't see it that way. Egypt can't even keep the ball now. They just keep turning the ball over. Referee, ball into Onana, turns over and gets a free kick. Ball played out to Ngoy, going forward. Plays it out to Castana, who goes wide to Trossard, who plays it wide to his center forward. Good ball into Trossard, looking to shoot. Try to go over the top. Good idea by Trossard. That was close. Take a little bit off that, and Tielemans would have been in. Okay. Yeah. Good win by Egypt. Salah plays it. Ball plays out wide to the goal scorer coming forward. Looking to go inside and goes back outside. To Marmoush. Marmoush has not been in the game at all. Here comes Egypt. Looking to go for our post. Ball plays to Marmoush. Plays all the way across field. Try to go into the box. Missed kick by Belgium. Headed out. Ported by Belgium. And free kick against Egypt. Foul on Onana. Marmoush with a poor control there, and then stepped in Anana's ankle. 44 minutes in, almost 45. Egypt leading by 1-0. It's interesting. I didn't know Ecuador had so many people in the U.S. because they all couldn't have flown over. I saw the Ecuador Ivory Coast game. They probably had 2 people Ivory Coast in the stand, and the stadium is all yellow, and Ecuador still go lose. Can't lose in those environment. Here comes Belgium. Got numbers. Trossard has it wide, and he's one of his normally outside the foot pass, which was not necessary. Anana to Tielemans comes forward. Or to De Bruyne, sorry. Not Tielemans. Ball out of bounds, thrown to Belgium. Good play there by Lachin. Now, if you have the ball in the corner down there, should be a long throw into the box. Castagna is not a long throw. They don't have any long throws? Oh, he does try it. He does get into the box. Good throw. Headed up by Belgium. Shot by Doku over the bar. Needed to keep that down. He had to lean over that one. Didn't lean enough over it enough. 46 minutes in, 4 minutes of extra time. Belgium losing by 1-0. Doku could have put that in the net, He was in a good spot, just beyond the penalty spot. He had to labor that one a little bit more, though. Long kick by Belgium, but picked up by Ashore, the goal scorer, coming forward. Plays it inside. Turns over by Marmoush. Was that a tough game? Doku with 3 men against him. Goes back inside to Ngoy, to Onana. She go all the way upfield across to Castana. And should play the Trossard. He does. Trossard looking for a pass. Can't get one. Go back to Castagna, who goes inside to De Bruyne. Plays it wide. De Bruyne tries a 1-2, but which was never there. Not a good pass by De Bruyne. 48 minutes in. Egypt 1, Belgium 0. If you're from Belgium, if they lose this game, they'll never live this down at home. Not a good deal for you to be a favorite team for most games and can't produce in none of them, actually. Ball, free kick by Belgium. Uh-oh. Poor header there by Ngoy, and Egypt is away. Almost gave away a goal. I don't know why he tried to head that ball. There was not enough pace on the ball for him to head it. He almost set Marmoush up to score. And in fact, if Marmoush exhibited more quality, see, he shouldn't have tried to shoot. What he should have done was try to take on Ngoy because the space wasn't there to shoot the goal. Really poor decision by Ngoy there. So corner by Egypt. Ashore with the corner, plays it short. A really good setup. Salah, the box headed out. Egypt with a shot, ball blocked. And ball out of bounds, another corner for Egypt. It's been a long day so far for Belgium. They're down 1-0. We have played the 4 minutes of extra time. So this is probably the last kick of the first half. Ball in the box. Courtois comes out, misses it, and the ball just squealed over the head of the Egyptian player. Poor goalkeeping there by Courtois. Almost gave away that goal. He came for it, was nowhere near it. Nowhere near it. The ball did go off his center forward head, number 11. Or not number 11, I should say. It was number 17. So, end of the first half, Egypt won. The continuous failure by Belgium to produce at major tournament. Rear is set again. Game is not over. So here we go for my normal halftime break. I'll come back in 2 seconds, 2 minutes, 1 minute break. So don't go nowhere. You put up this break. I'll be back in a second. This is my halftime break. I take my halftime break throughout this tournament. Give me how many games we cover. And just a little bit interlude of music. I'll be back in a jiffy. We go through some halftime stats when I come back. All right, we're back from our halftime break. Was it like a 1 minute break? Well, let's see if we can add some stats here. So these are the halftime stats. Hope you can read them. I'll try to expand this. As you can see here, possession stats are in favor of the losing team, Belgium. They have 58% possession versus 42 for Egypt. And here Jamaica said they want to play possession football. But this is not effective possession. Shot 7 to losing my voice. Sorry, I need some water here, people. I'm losing my voice. Too much talking. Shots are 7-4. What the heck? For Belgium. Corner kicks, Egypt 4, Belgium 0. Belgium has 10 fouls to Egypt 6. Passes, Belgium 262 to 191. And 2 yellow cards to Egypt. I thought one of those tackles on Doku was a very dangerous tackle. Actually, it could have been a red card. Jumping in 240 from the back. Not a good thing. But those are the stats. Not a lot there to talk about. XG is 0.47, so Belgium has had more chances than Egypt, but Egypt scored. I wouldn't even call it a chance, because the ball was outside the box, actually. So I would not call it a chance. But it was a good goal. And Courtois is a brilliant goalkeeper and had 0 chance to save that ball. Now, I would say this, which is the World Cup so far, the games have gone, a number of them as expected. I think if you look at the game so far, you may have expected Brazil to beat Morocco. But Morocco, as we know, made the last World Cup semifinal, so they're a good team. And when they bring in some of the younger players that they have and some of the new players they have, and I think countries can learn from what's transpiring in world football, which is it's about recruiting. Recruiting is an imperative. And if you don't recruit well, I mean, look at Boadi, who captained France under 18, under 21, and 3 weeks ago decided to change allegiance to Morocco and ran the midfield against Brazil the other day. So if you're going to recruit, do it early, get quality, and make them feel like, you know what, they're important, unlike some people we know. Now, somebody gave me a stat today of the top 10 World Cup teams with, I got to send this to myself and then I'll talk about it. Top 10 World Cup teams with players from the diaspora, right? Which is interesting because you and I know that we have had a lot of conversation amongst ourselves, those of you who are Jamaicans in the audience, and debate about the use of diaspora players who are real Jamaican, who's not real Jamaican, blah, blah, blah. So I want to go to, if I can find the list and read that list out to you. So look at the list. Trying to pull it up. It doesn't want to. Okay. So we have Senegal. 46% of Senegal players were born in France. Most of them are born in France, but 46% from the diaspora. In Cape Verde, who drew with Spain today, 0-0. A very small country, 4,000 square miles. 48% of their players were from diaspora, most of them born in Portugal. For Tunisia, who lost 5-1 to Sweden, they may not be as happy, but they made the World Cup. Half their players are from outside of Tunisia, born outside Tunisia. Qatar, half of their players born outside Qatar. Most of them, I think, of the 13 out of Sudan, 3 are from 3 are from Sudan. So even Sudan producing players, but Sudan has had this civil war. For Haiti, so half of Qatar players, these are all teams that are in the World Cup. Haiti, it's 62% of their players, and 12 of the 16 they have outside are born in France. Algeria, 62% of their players, and 13 of the 16 are born in France. There's a lot of players who are born in France for all these French colonies, actually. Bosnia, 65% of their players, they're born all over Europe, a number of them born in Germany. Morocco, 73% of their players, and we know they made the semifinal of the last World Cup and drew with Brazil in the first game of the World Cup. So 20 of the 26 players are born outside of Congo, 11 of them born in France. And then we know about Curacao, where only Chong was born in Curacao in a 26-man squad. So 96% of their players were born outside Curacao, and I think it's all of them are from the Netherlands, of the 25 that are born outside. So you have 10 teams where almost for those 10 teams, almost half of their players, and sometimes much more than half of them, are born outside of the country. And I don't think those countries are complaining because they end the World Cup, they're getting a minimum of $13 million in their coffers to help their football. But what we have in Jamaica a lot of times is the negativity portrayed by the media and the Football Federation and some of the key people in football about the ineffectiveness of the players who are born outside Jamaica being part of the national team and it's not working. As if they use all locally born players, they would do any better, because they wouldn't. Part of what you realize also in the recruiting strategies that's employed or deployed by these countries is that they start very early. They don't stay and say, like I hear some people in Jamaica, and I hear Rudolph say this, if they want to be part of the team, they got to come get their citizenship. Well, you know what? I don't think some of these players are just the ones pursuing. They're convinced by the federation of the countries who are trying to recruit them to come join them. And I always mention the case of Balogun, the U.S. chasing Balogun for 2 years before he committed. Because even though he was born in the U.S., he only spent a month in the U.S. He spent all his childhood in England, and he played for England youth teams. And I consider it to be like, college sports in the U.S. If you want a player, you got to go get the player and convince the player. Make them feel wanted. Make them feel like they can be part of a community. And create some chemistry, sustainability in your football program. Doesn't mean you shouldn't develop your program at home, because that's an imperative. But you've done an awful job of doing that. And you have a chance to get players like, if all these players you saw in the World Cup from other countries, France must have half of them, frankly, the numbers that I see. It's ridiculous the amount of players who were born in France, learned the football in France, playing for a lot of French colonies, including Haiti. So it's important. And we have England and more later now the US as a source for players for Jamaica. And now we get the complaints about what's not working versus what are you doing to make it work? What are you doing to make it work? If everybody else is doing it, what makes you so special that you should be doing this? You hear Roy Simpson, who's been in the JFF forever, don't have any meaningful contribution to the JFF, just taking up space, coming out and beating the players born overseas. You hear Maverick, but he won't balance. You hear all these people in Jamaica who have prominent roles complaining and whining and about overseas born players, and we can't do anything with them, blah, blah. They're not giving the players anything. All they do is play pain fear. They're not doing anything for the players. They can't do nothing for them. And in the players that they cater to in Jamaica, who are born in Jamaica, some of the ones who are more prominent, they play when they want to play. And a lot of times when they play, they don't play well. So it's very disappointing to hear all this nonsense. And you need good leadership. You need leadership. Leadership is the key thing. If you have excellent leadership, you're all right in life. If you have poor leadership, you get poor outcome. And you see, we're trying to reward individuals who are the architect of our failure, while we have countries like Tunisia saying, hey, you fail, you embarrass us, even though it's a country that's much better than them. They're in the World Cup. They got their money. They fired the coach after one game. Italy fired the entire federation, leadership, the coaching staff, everybody who failed to get Italy to the World Cup. But no, in some countries, like Jamaica, people get rewarded for failure. You get rewarded in some countries for failure. In other countries, you get ostracized. It's amazing the economy and the disparity between the way people are treated differently, different environment based on outcome. Yeah, Conrad, I agree. But I mean, I have no problem with local players being in the team. If they're good enough, they should be in the team. Why not? If you're good enough, you should be in the team, period. Local, overseas born, who cares? So long as you're good enough, you should be in the team. But some people want balance, not based on meritocracy, but based on locality, where you're located. Belgium coming back on the field. I don't see Egypt as yet. Yeah, Egypt coming out too. So if you just join us, we went on a little tangent a while ago talking about Jamaica football, which we'll be doing throughout this whole sequence of games because the disappointment will not go anyway. And for those of you in Jamaica who think that, you know what, get over it, talk about something else, we're going to talk about something else. But we ain't getting over it. And we're going to talk about it for the next 4 years until 2030. We're not getting over the soup zone. We're not stop talking about this. We're going to keep it alive. We should not reward failure. That's my philosophy. Doesn't mean you can't fail in life and pick yourself up, you know. But you need to go pick yourself up someplace else. Egypt coming out. Players look enthused. They look encouraged. Nothing like leading and feeling good about yourself being in the World Cup. By the way, people, if you're not subscribed to the channel already, please do so. Share the channel. Hit the like button. We love having you here. And we love you sharing the forum with us and sharing these experiences with us. Belgium is in another World Cup. And so far, it's another failure. And Egypt has done their homework because they're double and triple teaming Belgium threat. Trossard needs to be more effective on the opposite side of Doku, actually. Give Belgium a chance to win. They'll never get it, Orlando. Never. Never happen. Reggae Boys Reactor. How do I say this nicely? What is coming to my mind to say to you? I don't want to say it on public forums. I'm going to leave that alone. I'm going to ignore you. You're part of the cancer that we have in Jamaica football. Cancer of ineptness, cancer of incompetence, cancer of ineptitude. That's what it is. People like yourself. You guys are used to failure. I'm not used to failure. So that's why we can't be on the same page. Here comes Egypt. We're not going to enjoy no World Cup when Jamaica not there the way you want us to enjoy it. See, that's people you part of the problem. And you're failure people in administration. You guys are used to failure too much. You enjoy failure too much. We don't enjoy failure. And it's been a good year for Kranky, you know. Knicks won, Arsenal won, and my favorite team, Jamaica, because of incompetence, did not get to the World Cup. Egypt, the ball deep in Belgium's territory. Belgium. The game is just stop and start for this game. There's no fluence, no fluidity in the game. It's not fluent. Too much stop and start. And Belgium didn't make any changes. I'm surprised they didn't bring on like a Lukaku, for example, because I don't think the Kellier has done anything to be on the field. Here comes. Egypt trying to play for the back, but decided to go along, which is smart. Trossard will throw into Egypt, took it quickly. Oh, and that's a foul against Doku, isn't it? Referee saying no. Yeah, Ted Dexter, we're trying. Even the look of fight we're getting, we're trying. Brilliant ball by Egypt. Switch it over to the right. It goes to the goal scorer. And Ashur, ball inside of Egypt. Oh, Salah missed that. Shot again by Belgium. That should have been 2. Salah has to score that. Wow. And ball played out trying to find Doku. So Doku is almost in the center forward role now. I think they should bring on Lukaku with his big body. He may not be the same Lukaku, but they need more support up front. They need somebody to bully defenders for Egypt. Here comes Egypt again. Ball out of bounds, throw into Belgium. Yeah, this man come chant about I should enjoy World Cup when my team is not at the World Cup. You think anybody can go tell England if you enjoy World Cup if England go World Cup? And guy, yeah, there, man. So in the 48 minutes of play, as you can see on the board, 1-0 to Egypt. Maybe the Pharaohs are blessing Egypt in this tournament because they've never won a World Cup game. They have a chance to do so today against a highly ranked team. So Belgium coming forward. And Belgium playing pretty slowly too. I mean, they're not moving the ball quickly. You want to get back in the game. I know that it may be pretty hot out there, but got to get the ball at the field quicker. They're trying to move Doku around because they realize if you can double and triple team, it's hard to do so in the middle of the park. Problem is when he goes inside, then people need to move around. Here comes Doku. Goes by one and he's fouled. I love him in a 10 because when he's in a 10, he's closer to the goal and he has the ability to go by anybody at any time. His stop-start is ridiculous. His acceleration is ridiculous. Yeah, they are lost. But if Doku in the middle would change the game. To me, the problem is De Bruyne doesn't have the legs anymore. I don't think he realizes it. So free kick to Belgium. Ball played short. Go outside the Trossard. He should cross in the box. He doesn't. He cuts it back. And he's being tracked really well. And he keeps hold on to it and get dispossessed. Ball played out, picked up by Doku when he's out wide. He has one-on-one, looking for a pass inside. Goes down the line. Tried to play it inside. Towed up by Egypt. But just straight back to Belgium. And Belgium tried something fancy that didn't work. And here comes Egypt. And Courtois will recover this. And boots it way up the field. Good kick up by Courtois. Picks up by Belgium. And Tielemans is fouled. Free kick to Belgium. Egypt trying to slow down the play. Ball play to De Bruyne. Looking for a pass. Goes back to Onana. Looking to go over the top. Decided not to. Goes wide to Ngoy. Ball plays inside to Doku. And he's so quick, he'll get anything inside. Doku with 2 men around him. Beat one, fouled. Yeah, he's going to get fouled continuously. It's impossible to mark, people. Impossible to mark. His acceleration is ridiculous. When I read this, people. When I read this, people don't read that. Read that. We were unlucky. Incompetent people type them unlucky now. Incompetence is unlucky now. Unlucky and incompetence are in the same boat. Were you unlucky not to be a doctor? You're lucky not to be a lawyer? You're lucky not to make money? You're unlucky not to win a race? Really? Unluck? What the hell is luck? You create your own luck in life. You create your own luck in life. Unlucky is when you shoot the ball or you block the shot and it goes in the basket. That may be a luck. That's happen chance. When you orchestrate the failure of a campaign, that has nothing to do with luck. That's incompetence. If you want to equate incompetence to luck, that's your business, not my business. I know what I saw. I know what I observed. I know what I commentated on. I know what I critique. It ain't luck. Maybe luck for you, but that's not how luck works. That ain't luck. When you orchestrate a failed campaign, that's not luck, Dr. Don. De Bruyne with a free kick. He's got to score this. Top corner. Oh, that was close. Did it hit the upright? It did, I think, actually. He picked his corner and almost got it. Hey, Dr. Dan, when you orchestrate a failed campaign, Dr. Dan, that's not luck. That's not luck. When you recruit poorly, when you pick the wrong coach, that's not luck. That you don't know what you're doing. That was a good free by De Bruyne. He almost had it right. Sorry about that, people. Somebody called me just from St. Lucia. I had to take that call. Here comes Egypt again. We're in the 54th minute of play. Egypt 1, Belgium 0. And that score is real score, people. It's not fake. Belgium has been a better team, but neither team has been truly effective going forward. Here comes Belgium. Ball played inside. Touch short, try to get back 2 men. Really good play. Good defense, actually. Good defending. That's a bad foul, and the referee didn't call it. That's a bad foul. That should have been a foul, actually. The referee hasn't called it. Defender still down. Great save by Courtois. And a poor shot. Oh, Ashore, who scored that brilliant goal in the first half, had a chance to hit the target and didn't. But I thought it should be a foul against Egypt in the build-up. And the player is still down, actually. The Belgian player, I should say. Yeah, Salah had a good header by Salah, actually. Not a poor header, a good header. But Courtois was there to push it away from his goal. Hey, Dr. Don, read that, Dr. Don. I agree with that. So 2 changes for Belgium. Castagna coming out. And who's coming in? Onana is also coming out. Yeah, an okay game. They need more creativity. I guess they're trying to get that. Castagna and Onana out. So defender the midfielder. And the Cooper and who else is in? Can't see that name. Here comes Egypt again. Egypt looking for the second. And they may get it. De Bruyne to Doku. Good turn by Doku. Beats one. Almost loses it. And foul against Egypt. They got to find Doku with every touch. And he has to play in the middle. He can't play out wide. They're double teaming too well out wide. They got to play him in the middle. So this is the narrative of the JFF. They'll tell you that they're the best administration in the history of Jamaica football. They'll tell you that, and then when I show them that they're talking nonsense, they can't refute it. So the Reggae Boys commentary, Reggae Boys reactor, you guys can talk how you want to talk. When Speed come on and said they're by far the best administration, and I walked through all their accomplishments and all their failures, there is no comparison. They're not good at what they do. Here comes Belgium. I don't listen to the narrative. I do my own research, draw my own conclusion based on facts, get receipts. Belgium coming forward, ball played out wide, good build up Belgium, and then try something tricky and it doesn't work. Doku, ball out of bounds, throw into Egypt. Not a good play. I know, Dr. Don. You got your degree by luck, and you got your what we get the other day when your certification. You're being certified. You got that by luck to Dr. Don. Like 8-10 years of studying 15, 20-hour days. That's all luck. That wasn't hard work, and most importantly, smart work. Yeah, they don't look good at all. Here comes Belgium. Oh, that's wow. Ball turnover, and Egypt trying to counter. They have 1-on-1, and Egypt is away, and Belgium is chasing. Egypt is away. He's in the box, looking to shoot. Got knocked off strides. Good defending by Belgium, but you can't afford to get. Marmoush got to do better with that. He has to go across the goal. Marmoush got away, but didn't put it away. Good turn by Marmoush. They are isolating Marmoush 1-on-1 with Ngoy. And Ngoy can't make attack of his left foot there. He did come back well, though, to get a line with Marmoush. It didn't hit him in the back. But Marmoush has to go for our post there. Not as quick as he would like to be. Here comes Belgium, 59th minute. Belgium is still struggling. They're down by 1-0. Next game this evening is Uruguay, actually, are up. I'll put this up. Uruguay plays Saudi Arabia next. Here comes Belgium. It's Doku trying to go to two people, and he's tripped up. Belgium's only threat is Doku, frankly. Yeah, that's almost a penalty. Egypt got to be careful with Doku because he's quick. He's trying to go through two men, but here comes Belgium. Dr. Dan said he took tests and he was luck. I know anybody who take tests on a luck, especially in a specialized field. Oh, now that worked, Dr. Dan. Nah, it wasn't a pen, but it's close in terms of them blocking him off. He's dangerous in the box. You can't have Doku to be in the box. You have to keep him outside the box. Corner to Belgium, 61st minute. Belgium down by 1. Corner by De Bruyne. Headed up by Egypt. Shot by, wow, that was Tillemans, who has it in his locker, just outside the post. So De Bruyne hit the upright, and Tillemans with a shot that just missed the upright. That was not far away. Had the goalkeeper struggling. Tillemans has real good technique. I've seen him score like that in the FA Cup final. I think it was against Man City. He scored for Leicester City, actually. And people, if you haven't hit the like button, please do so. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so. I appreciate it. De Bruyne out to trying to find Doku 1-on-1 out wide. Doku being marshaled. Good pass inside. De Bruyne shot. Oh, he has to do better. He needs to score that. De Bruyne rushed that shot. He has to score that. That ball came real good to him in the box. Doku playing center forward now, it looks like. Ball into De Bruyne, and it came on the half volley too. He has to hit the target. There's no luck. Dr. Dan, do better than that. Don't try to make your own argument about Knicks luck. The Knicks win by average of 24 points in their playoff. They were 15-1 in the playoffs after they losing 2 games to Atlanta and down 2-1. You can't go 15-1 and luck. Ain't no luck involved. Ain't no luck involved. You can't walk people down and be lucky. Come on, Dr. Don. Do better than that. There's no luck. But you go 15-1, Dr. Don, in the last 16 games in the playoff, that's not luck. Ball crossover. Not enough room between the offensive and defensive player. Ball played up by Belgium. Should be a foul against Ngoy, actually. He should get a yellow card also. Try to block the keeper. Reggae Boys Reactor. I'm going to put your stuff up. I'm going to put your stuff up. Here's the difference between me and you. I called it like I see it, regardless of the implications of the outcome, regardless of if someone feels that they're going to be offended. So long as I'm telling the truth, I can live with the repercussions. That's how I live. But I was in corporate or private life or with family, I'm going to try to be as transparent as possible. And if I'm not going to be transparent, I'll tell you I'm not going to be transparent, which is probably going to be rare. But I'm not going to be a hypocrite. Here comes Egypt. They have 1-on-1. They have 2 against 2. Salah's in the middle. Comes inside, goal open. What a shot. Oh, that ricochet could have gone anywhere. That was Marmoush again on the outside. So what Egypt is doing is they're isolating Marmoush up front with the last defender, which I thought something Cape Verde should have done against Spain. When a team is going to be pressing you the way they do, not press, but in terms of having so many men forward, you should force them to bring 2 men back. So if you're up there isolated 1-on-1 and you're quicker than the defender, they have to put somebody else back. Hey, Nitro, how you doing? Bless up, Nitro. Egypt cross into the box, headed out by Belgium. Picked up again by Egypt. Cross in the box. Belgium plays it out. Tielemans almost got dispossessed coming forward. Cuts inside. 3 men around him got dispossessed. Foul against Tielemans. Egypt is not happy. Dr. Don, I hate to tell you, Dr. Don. People, read that comment by Dr. Don. Don't come here and lose credibility, Dr. Don. Don't lose credibility. The game is 48 minutes, Dr. Don, not 45 minutes. Okay? 48 minutes, not 45 minutes. There's no luck in administration. Reggae Boys Reactor. Goal! And they put on Lukaku. And as he comes on, he puts the ball in the net. That's what Lukaku does, the goal scorer. The leading goal scorer for Belgium in history. As he comes on, he put the ball in the net. Break down the right side, cross into the box. Lukaku's there to finish. That's what he does. He may have his issues, but he does know how to score a goal. Belgium won, Egypt won. Lukaku comes in the game and changes the game. Ball played over the top. And poor reaction by the Egyptian on the left. Cross into the box, and Lukaku got there. Run through 2 people, got there. Bulldoze his way in. Unbelievable. I did call it. Brilliant, physical. He should have gotten more playing time, actually. I don't know how you're going to play. Lukaku has been Belgium leading goal scorer historically forever. And I know he's not the same Lukaku like before, but I mentioned earlier, he's got to put him into both of these defenders. So right at the hydration break, Lukaku scored, and it's now 1-1. Why is my score not changed already? My feed is too slow. My feed is like a minute slow. Maybe I'll change that feed. Let me see something if I have enough feed. So my other feed has 1-1. I mean, just change this feed. Feed is embarrassing me. I'll put it up here. It's not as pronounced. Okay, now it's 1-1. So Belgium won, Egypt won. A lot of tie games. You're gonna be. First game was tied earlier today. Spain, the Euro champions and one of the favorites for the World Cup, drew with Cape Verde 1-1. I'm sorry, 0-0. And now we have Egypt. Ashore scored in the first goal, and then Lukaku just came in the game, putting it away, running through, bulldoze his way through like he does. Use that power, that physicality to score. All right, maybe on goal, but they should give it to Lukaku. He created the havoc. Yeah, no, the expansion is good. The expansion is good. Only people complain about expansion are the elitists. So if you're in Europe or probably South America, you complain and your perennial World Cup attendee, and you know you can always qualify. But for the smaller countries, our countries that normally get to the World Cup, you know, the two most populous countries don't get to the World Cup, China and India. It's a good thing. Nigeria not in the World Cup. They're one of the most populous countries also. Everyone, well, I won't say there's no weak teams because Curacao didn't dignify themselves, nor did Tunisia, but they should be there. They qualified to be there. They should be there. And U.S. embarrassed Paraguay. Paraguay finished, what, fifth in South America? They qualified fifth. And they qualified ahead of Colombia, who I expect to do well. And yet they got 4 from the U.S. So the U.S. were very, very impressive, by the way. The most impressive team so far in the World Cup to me is the U.S., given the level of opponent they played. I mean, their energy, their pressing, the technique. The only thing the U.S. struggle with is their defense. Because I don't think Tim Reen and Richards and Freeman is decent. And Richards is different, but they're playing 3 at the back. A lot of talk on the sideline by the Egyptian team. But Lukaku created that havoc to allow him to score. So the goal scorer is coming off for Egypt. Iman Ashur, yep, and Rami Rabia is on. 70th minute, 71st minute, score tied at 0. Score tied at 1. Belgium versus Egypt. And just as a reminder, to the right, these are the teams in the group. So if you look to the right of your screen, Iran and New Zealand. So these 2 teams I think will make the playoffs. Now, you don't want to be the third place team, play the winner of another zone. So you don't want that. But I don't think New Zealand will make it from this zone. I think it'll be Belgium, Egypt, and Iran, actually. And not all third place teams. So you got to be one of the better third place teams to get through. That is good. It's 32 teams advance to the next round. So 16 teams will not make it. Ball over the top. Head up by Belgium. Belgium coming forward again. Doku is all over the field, is now back on his favorite left wing. I think they should play him to the middle still. But Lukaku is there now, so maybe they don't need that anymore. Here comes Belgium. Ball right out to Tillman. He's going to go right. Ball over the top. Belgium. Trossard. Belgium now dominating possession. And playing much better. Trossard. Brilliant pass inside. Shot. Poor decision. He had 2 men in the box. And should have played the ball in the penalty spot to allow his teammate to get to it. That's really poor decision, actually. Did really well getting the box. Now he has to cross the ball. Lukaku was there. I have no idea why he played so selfish. And he didn't have the position to shoot. Here comes Belgium again. Trying to find Lukaku. Ball to Trossard, plays wide. Egypt is now at C. They look lost, actually. They look tired. They look lost. It's a very seasoned team for Egypt. They're not youngsters, so. And they probably need to make some changes. They just made a change. They probably need more changes. Here comes Belgium again. Belgium playing with a lot of urgency. De Bruyne. Oh, free kick to Egypt. Looks like Egypt would make another change. Number 25, Ziso, maybe coming in. We'll see who he's coming in for. Egypt is not playing composed. They're trying to play a lot of counter-attacking football, and Belgium is countering them well. Ball play back to Courtois. Egypt is spread out, real spread out now. The game has opened up. Egypt was very compact when they scored. Now they're pretty all over the field. Here comes in going. Goes inside to De Bruyne, plays it outside, and turns it over. And then comes the foul, and we'll probably get a yellow card. Yes, he does. That was who? That was number 5, substitute. The Kjopper. What's his name? Kjopper. Try to beat the man and holding off for dear life. He pulled down Zico and free kick to Egypt. Two changes for Egypt. Number 25 is coming in. That's Zizo. For number 11, who is Zico. There should be one more change on the sideline. And Salah has been taken off. Interesting. When Liverpool takes Salah off, he gets upset. Does he get upset when Egypt take him off? Interesting. Doesn't look happy, but I'm sure he'll get over it. So Salah is off, and Hamza is on. Hamza Aldel Kalarim is on. Here comes Egypt. Ball play all the way back to the goalkeeper. 76 minutes in, score tied at 1. And Belgium have the ascendancy now. The changes are appropriate because the weather can be challenging. De Bruyne is sprinting at this time. Wow. I didn't know De Bruyne was this quick. Here comes Egypt. Ball play all the way across field. Really good change of play. Out to Fatah. Fatah in the middle. The ball over the top, but too long. Collected by Courtois. 77 minutes. 13 minutes to play plus extra time. Egypt won. And Belgium won. I think Belgium need to get the ball to Doku, who can then find Lukaku. They spread the defense out really, the offense out really nice to get balls in between the lines. Egypt now trying to press, but they have a lot of space. They're not pressing as a team. If you press just with 3 people, there's big gaps between the defense. Here comes De Bruyne. Out to Doku. Doku has man one-on-one. There's 3 people come over. Ball to De Bruyne, look into a brilliant pass, and it was stopped by Trossard to Lukaku, who shoots, block. That ball was meant for Doku, was not meant for Trossard. And Doku would have been in on goal, actually. Here comes Ngoy, plays the ball out wide. Yeah, De Bruyne still has those passes between the lines. Here comes ball by Lukaku, plays it wide. Cross. Oh, horrible cross. I'm not sure who crossed that ball. Was that Trossard or somebody else? No, that was Tielemans. Poor cross. I gave it as an own goal? Okay. Well, to me, Lukaku caused that, so he should get the credit. If you just join us, we're watching the game between Belgium and Egypt. Score is tied at 1, and here comes Egypt, and they have numbers. They have 4 people up. Egypt looking to shoot. Shot blocked. Not a smart shot, actually. That was not smart. He had time and space. Throw into Egypt. And to me, we're going to have another 1-1 tie. A lot of draw games so far, against a team that are competitive. Egypt coming forward. Well, we're coming forward, gone all the way back. Trying to rotate the ball. And Belgium is pretty spread out. Good win by. Here comes Lukaku. Trying to go to 2 men, turns it over. Ball back to Egypt. Lukaku putting a lot of pressure up front. Egypt is trying to go long with a lot of those passes. They're not playing short ball anymore. They were trying to walk the ball up the field in the first half, but now they're trying to play more counter-attacking football. 80th minute, score tied at 1. And this is a Group G match. And on the right, you see the teams in Group 2. Coming after this game, which I will not be carrying, is Egypt versus Saudi Arabia later on today. And then the last game of the evening is Iran versus New Zealand. It should be watched by people who are football junkie. I'm not one of them. Egypt crossing the box. Courtois collects. And here comes Egypt. Again, De Bruyne, a brilliant fake. Comes to the minute. Fight Doku wide. Doku has his man one-on-one. He now gets a chance to go at him. He drives at him, beat him inside, and got tripped up. Foul. Should be a yellow card against Haney. If Doku has you had a one-on-one in no man's land, you're in trouble. He jerked right and then go inside and got clipped up deliberately. That should be a yellow card and a foul. Free kick to Belgium just outside the 18-yard line on the right side of the Egyptian 18-yard line. Those of you in the chat, if you have not hit the like button, please do so. If you have not subscribed, please do so. And if you have not shared the channel, please do so. And also hit your notification bell. So each time I come on, you'll be able to join the stream and contribute to the program. De Bruyne needs to find Lukaku in the middle. They can't mark him. Big, strong, good in the air. 81st minute, going to the 82nd minute. Score tied at 1. Own goal by Egypt. And Adura scored for Egypt previously. So 2 goals scored by Egypt, but scores 1-1. De Bruyne with a really good cross, far post. Ball punched out by the Egyptian goalkeeper. Played Ngoy wide. Ball back in the box. Head out. Oh, great save by the keeper. Great save by Shabir. And here comes Egypt. They have numbers. Trying to counter. Ball intercepted. Ball played back to Doku. 3 men around him. Beat 1, beat 2. Trying to that cute pass into Lukaku, but cut off by Egyptian. And here they come again. And Belgium have men back. So it's 6 against 7 now. and some of the Belgian players are just jogging back, fatigue setting in. Here comes Egypt again. Ball play back and going to rotate it, go all the way back to the halfway line after being down close to the 18 for Belgium. Egypt coming forward, 83rd minute. Ball played inside, back outside by Egypt, looking to cross into the box, does so way too high and over the bar. That was close. Courtois was struggling in that ball. It was a cross, but almost went in the top corner. Came down. Yeah, he's trying to grab that ball. Not a smart move. Just need to tip it over the bar. Could have given away a goal on that. And earlier, great save by the Egyptian goalkeeper, Chabert. So both teams creating chances late in the game. Corner taken, ball head inside by Egypt. Shot blocked by the Belgians. Back out to Egypt. Egypt not putting under pressure. Trying to go far post. Headed out by Ngoy for Belgium. Straight back to Egypt, and they come again. Egypt putting pressure on Belgium. Belgium can't get on their own half. Ball played out wide. Down the wing, down the left side, crossing the box. Blocked by Belgium out for a throw-in to Egypt. 85th minute of play. Belgium won, Egypt won. Different teams have taken different times in the game to put on the pressure, and now previously it was Belgium, now it's Egypt. Egypt coming forward, try to cross it. No power in the pass. Ball over the top, trying to find. Lukaku plays it down. Ball back to Lukaku. He's been trapped by 3 players. Up, ball played out of bounds by Egypt. Dispossessed Lukaku, but out of bounds for a throw-in. We're in the 85th minute of play, and the score is tied at 0. I'm sorry, at 1. 2 more changes for the Belgians. De Bruyne has been removed. And so is Doku, which I'm a bit surprised about. I guess they're going to go more defensive. I would not take Doku out. But for Belgium, number 26 is in. That's Pardew Matthias. And who else is in? So De Bruyne is out. Deco is out. Vanaken is in. And Fernandez, Pardew Matthias is in. Here comes Egypt. Ball cross in the box. Too long, too far. Straight to Courtois. I think both teams want to settle for a draw, frankly. Belgium just walking the ball up the field. Just over their own half, coming forward. Ball play over the top, trying to find. Ball played back, trying to put the ball needs in the box, does in the box. Lukaku, oh, that was a chance of Lukaku. He has to score that. He has to score that. That was right on his forehead. If you get over it, you can head it down. He has to put that away. He does miss a few goals here and there. Cross came in. Oh, that was easy. That was not hard to header at all. That was not difficult. It was upcoming. Yeah, he's over the ball. He headed it on his top of his head versus his forehead. He has to score that. He has to at least hit the target. '88, 87-minute play. Egypt won. Belgium won. There's 2 more games later this evening. Uruguay plays Saudi Arabia, and then later on, it is Iran against New Zealand. So if you look to your right, you see the teams in this zone. A draw here doesn't really hurt either team unless Iran and New Zealand win. And those two team plays later today. Saudi Arabia will be playing against Uruguay. You'd expect Uruguay to win, but you never know. Given what's happened this morning with Spain against Cape Verde, you will never know. Egypt has made another change. Number 14 is off. Who is Fatih, and number 20 is on. Who is Adel, Ibrahim Adel. Belgium trying to walk it from the back, almost gave it away. Here comes Egypt. That was not smart by the Belgians. They just had to dump the ball and start to play over. They've been cute in their own area. Here comes Egypt again. For the last 10 minutes, Egypt been putting on a lot of pressure on the Belgians. But the Belgium had a chance in terms of Lukaku, who just missed that header. If I was to predict from this point on, I think Ida's team will go far in this tournament. Here comes Egypt again. Belgium cannot get out of their own way or their own area. I don't know why they took out Doku versus say Trossard, for example. That doesn't make sense to me. Ball in Egypt, good ball in. Played out wide, looking to cross. Brilliant move. Shot, blocked by Belgians. Ball headed up by Belgium. Oh, that's a physical header. Referee allowed him to play on. Belgium coming forward. Ball played up to Lukaku. Chest it down. Good move by Lukaku. Belgium can break. Ball over the top. It allowed find Lukaku, but Egypt recovered, intercepted, and come forward again. 90th minute. Score tied at 1. 5 minutes of extra time. This game has run on, apart from the hydration break, has not had a lot of breaks. So 5 minutes seems appropriate. And here comes Egypt. Trying to go through, dispossess. The referee says play on, ball intercepted, turned over twice by both teams. Egypt coming forward, and they have numbers. Ball played out wide, not smartly. Egypt on the edge of the area. Try something fancy, but turned it over. Belgium just need to dump the ball, and start over. And here comes Lukaku putting on pressure. But Egypt play it back to the keeper and start the attack again. Ball in their own half, coming forward, middle of the half. Egypt trying to go over the top, but poor pass. I think the players are tired and just want to go home. The Egyptian referee coach is losing his mind. Thought his player was fouled in the previous play, but they can't call a foul on that. It's not a foul. Here comes Belgium over the top, trying to go over the top. The passing has been poor in this game, though. A lot of passing. Not sure if it's a fatigue or people just tired, but some of the passing has just not been good. Egypt trying to come forward again. Dispossess, and Belgium have numbers. It's 4 against 5. Ball inside. Belgium have numbers. Looking to shoot. Lukaku picks it up. Doesn't have a pass. Plays it out wide and goes back looking for the cross. I think players are just tired. We're in the 93rd minute. Haney from Egypt is very mad at upset at his team because he wants them all to come back and to defend. Not everyone wants to do that. It's hard work. Here comes Belgium again. Ball into the box, trying to find Lukaku, who heads it down really well. Ball played out again. Belgium still in possession. Trying to come forward. 2 minutes remaining in the game. And that's a foul. That should be a foul against Egypt. And it is. Free kick to Belgium. Not a smart foul. Player wasn't going anywhere. Not sure why Haney want to commit that foul. Oh, it wasn't. Yeah, no, that wasn't Haney. That was number 25. That was Zizo. We have Zico and Zizo for Egypt. Lukaku in the middle trying to make a menace of himself. We have a minute and a half remaining. Belgium versus Egypt, score tied at 2. This is Group G that also has Iran and New Zealand in this group. And those two teams play later tonight. Free kick taking longer than expected. So Belgium with a free kick. Good free kick, close in. That must have been, that was a good attempt actually, but it's over the bar. Not a bad attempt at all. Not sure if that was a set play, but he's trying to go for our post. That free kick by, was that Michel? Or Michel E. Only 36 seconds remaining. 35, 34. 30 seconds remaining in this game. Cross in the box. Egypt coming forward. That was close, but clipped by Courtois. Really good cross. And number 9 was there for Egypt, who is Abdel Karim. Ball over the top, Belgium, but they're just making long passes that's going nowhere. I think that should be game, set, and match. Referee collecting the ball. That's it. It's over. It's done. 95 minutes. The referees have been very good on this in extra time. When nothing has occurred, they gave no extra time. 5 minutes up, game is done. So you've just watched Belgium versus Egypt, game tied at 1 in Group G. As I said earlier, the remaining, if you look at the schedule, to the right of this evening, later on today, Saudi Arabia will play Uruguay. And then later tonight, New Zealand plays Iran. And in Group G, now Belgium and Egypt each have 1 point. Iran to play New Zealand later on tonight. So Group G is actually wide open. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you being here. We will be back tomorrow. I'll be definitely bringing France against Senegal. Let me just see what other games are there. France, Senegal is at 3 p.m. Iraq plays Norway at 6 p.m. That's Eastern Standard Time. And then 9 p.m., the champions, Argentina, play Algeria. We'll definitely be here at 3 p.m. tomorrow for the Senegal-France game. That should be a really good game. In a friendly played not too long ago, Ivory Coast won 1-0 against Ecuador last night. And Ecuador hadn't given up a goal in God knows when. Beat France, I think it was 2-1. And Senegal is probably a gooder team or better team than Ivory Coast. But the France team is loaded with firepower. Dembele, Mbappe, Doué, Olise, Bartola, and on and on and on. But you have to get them the ball. So whether it's Tchouameni or Kante or Rabiot, those players, we need to get the ball to their forward line to allow them to be effective. But I'm sure Senegal, with the Manes of the world, is a good team and will play well. So come tomorrow, join me, 3 p.m. tomorrow. I'll probably be on about 2:40 for that game. And thanks for being here. I appreciate you being here and hope you have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Peace out. By the way, before you go, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when I'm on, and share the channel. Thanks a lot. Peace out.